Okay, so we have, or are going to be talking about rectangles. And you guys should know what they look like. And I'm assuming you know that it has 4 right angles. Okay, but there's other things that it also has. So by definition, a rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. So because it's already a parallelogram, when I ask for the properties of a rectangle, and there is not a symbol for rectangle, so when I say properties of a rectangle, because by definition it is a parallelogram, that means it has the 5 properties that we get from a parallelogram, and then a rectangle has a couple or a few more, which I'll talk about. So, because it's a rectangle, it also has both pairs of opposite sides. I'm going to start abbreviating a little bit. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Consecutive angles are supplementary. Both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. And the last one for parallelogram is that diagonals bisect each other. Okay, so if we build on that, so now what makes a rectangle a rectangle? And that would be the fact that diagonals not only do they bisect each other, but they are also congruent. And they have has 4 right angles. And I believe that is it. Okay, so if we are looking for a rectangle, we can have some examples. So if I already know that this is a rectangle, and so we are given rectangle ABCD, and this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D, and I know that this is 2x plus 5, how can you find the value of x? Well, we know that this is also a right angle, so you might want to tuck that in there. So if this is a right angle, I know then that 2x plus 5, or that angle, has to equal 90. So I can solve and get 2x equal to 85. And x is going to equal some weird value, 42.5. Okay, so that is one thing that makes a rectangle a rectangle. We could also, if I give you rectangle GHJK, and we have diagonals, and I tell you that KH equals 12 and GJ equals 3x, let's see, plus, make it 2x, 2x plus 6, how can you find x? Well, we know that KH in a rectangle is congruent to GJ, because in a rectangle the diagonals are congruent. So because they are congruent, I can set those two values equal to each other. 2x plus 6 equals 12. 2x equals 6. Therefore, x equals 3. So those are some examples of how we're going to be building on top of the parallelogram properties that we already know. And that is the fact that diagonals are congruent and the fact that a rectangle has 4 right angles.